Hey there. A couple of weeks ago, I gave you an assignment about winter, about looking at winter in art, whether that's music or painting or literature, and what people use winter to represent. You may have come to the understanding that winter means a time when something is waiting or dead. And certainly we see that in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's how C.S. Lewis used the idea of winter to show that the world was waiting for something really important to happen. And he actually uses it to show the time before Jesus came. So today, I want you to think about the worst thing ever to happen, which would be the crucifixion. There is no worse point in history than Jesus being dead. Like, without Jesus, there's no hope. There's no chance that things are ever going to get better. And those 3 days when Jesus died, like, there's nothing worse that could happen in our history than that. I want to show you some pictures of famous artworks that are centered around that moment. And I want you to think about why people would choose to make that what they do artwork about. We're used to thinking about art being uplifting and beautiful, but these pieces aren't necessarily uplifting. In fact, they're very sad. A long time ago, there was a very famous fad. There was a big thing that everybody who is artistic was doing. It was called a pieta. And it was a picture of Jesus being held by his mother Mary after he had been crucified. The most famous one is by Michelangelo, but I'm going to show you a couple of different ones because I think they show a little bit more emotion. This is like if you look at sculptures from like the 1400s, the Middle Ages. This was a thing that like everybody did. There's a bajillion of these out there, but I want to have you look at two, and I want you to look at Mary's face particularly. What is she feeling, and how does the artist show that? The other thing I want to show you is a picture of a stained glass window. This was one that I actually saw in the Cleveland Museum of Art, and just shows Jesus on the cross. Stained glass was hard to make, and so it's significant that people chose to make that the thing that they made their picture of. The last thing I want to show you is a piece of music, and it kind of fits. It feels kind of stained glassy and old-fashioned, and it's actually from the same album that I showed you, the Winter Song about Christmas, Where Are You? This is from an album about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. If you don't know much about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it is a retelling of the Easter story in a fantasy land. And so this is the moment that Good Friday represents in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Spoilers, if you haven't read the book, you definitely should while you're home. It's so good. But I want you to listen to the music as well and think about what feeling is this creating? How did they do that? And I want you to put that all together, and I want you to answer this question. Why would artists, with all of the time they have, with how hard it is to make a world-class artwork, why would artists choose to make the worst point in our world's history the thing they do a picture of? Do you think it matters that that's what they chose? All right, I can't wait to hear your answers. Think deep and make sure that you celebrate the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. It's amazing. It's one of the most incredible, mind-blowing moments of history. Happy Good Friday, 6th grade and oh my goodness, happy Good Friday, 5th and 6th grade.